Everybody, it's Mary Ann with the Senior Tutor and OnlineTechLessons.com. And today I am online having a conversation with Jim Clark. Jim Clark is a wedding officiant. He owns Jim's Just Right Weddings in the Cincinnati area. And he is here to tell us a little bit about himself and how he's keeping himself occupied during this global pandemic time right now. So, Jim, tell us a little bit about yourself and what it is you do.
Well, sure. I'm Jim Clark, and some people call me Reverend because I'm a licensed minister. Some people call me Pastor. And in the business world, I'm just Jim or James. And so I am a bivocational and partly retired, but still keeping busy enough with my two different things that I do. I take care of a small church out in western Butler County called Okeana United Methodist Church, right there in the village. A membership of about 50 people and an average 25 attendance. Right now, we're not meeting, of course, because of the virus. So we're following the governor's and our bishop's orders to not meet in person. So therefore, we are holding our first ever Facebook Live worship services. They're only about 20 minutes every Sunday morning while we're on this lockdown, or while we're on this safety precaution. And I think we're going to be doing our third one tomorrow. Yes, we are. And it's going quite well. My wife is generally the camera person. And what I do is give a little scripture and a little meditation and a song and a prayer. So that's what we do to try to lift everybody's spirits, including our own. We do it right from our home since we don't need to drive out to the church. And so it's a little bit weird not to be in church physically, but we are abiding by the rules and the laws and the recommendations. My other business, of course, is as a wedding officiant. I marry people. I don't plan the whole event. I am a wedding officiant, so I do the ceremonies. And I do those through about 3 different business resources. Enough referrals come to me, really, that I don't have to go out seeking them too much. They come to me through an agency called Marriage Chaplain, which is in Cincinnati. And then I get some wedding business through Thumbtack. Many of you will know what Thumbtack is. And then some personal referrals also, including my church. So it's a lot of fun, my 2 careers. I can space myself out and pace myself so that I'm working as hard as I want to and working from home mostly. And when it's going to reopen, I can work from Starbucks or Rusty Bucket or some of those places. And I enjoy being remote like that. The technologies that I've picked up during this shutdown are this one, which is Zoom. And my wife and I just learned how to use it about 3 weeks ago when we started doing, some of our services, and also Facebook Live, which is what we incorporate also. And I use Zoom for some of my clergy accountability and support sessions, through district sessions with the bosses above me, the district and conference level. And my wife just got to use one for a jazzercise happy hour. So she's done that a couple of times. So we're doing Zoom, and we're finding that to be really helpful, and Facebook Live, and then also some FaceTime with Apple products, of course. And so that's a good thing. And we're just trying to stay in touch. Probably the hardest thing is scheduling our days, which are much different. Everybody's days are different now. So actually scheduling and getting into a rhythm and a new routine and still feeling productive and still feeling useful. I guess we're all trying to get used to that, especially if we're used to working from home.
Yeah, my next door neighbor and I were just talking about earlier how everybody just kind of needs to get up and get dressed in the morning and pretend like you're going to work and just do it. So let me ask you something. I know springtime is a huge time for weddings. Everybody has planned their weddings for the spring. Several of them, I'm sure, in your area have, paid for wedding venues and the catering and stuff like that. And I know you're not involved in any of that, but it's going to put a kink in everybody's plans. So have you offered or been able to do any like virtual weddings so that people can still, even though, hopefully the venues and stuff like that are working with people to, either reschedule like a party later on for them or something, but are you able to wed people virtually?
Well, I'm sure that I could. I just have not been able to do that yet or been asked to do that yet either. Since I only do about 15 or 20 weddings a year, the ones that I've had this spring, let's see, I did one in a private home with maybe 6 people. So that was very safe and all that. I do weddings in private homes, so it's not a big deal. We can keep our social distance and all that. Probably the trickiest thing is doing the weddings where there is a large venue. I had one that had to reschedule from March all the way up until August, but they were able to work it out with the venue and not lose any money. And then one of them is going to be early May, and we're still going to do the wedding, but it'll be a smaller wedding at my church, and then they're going to have the reception much later when it's safer to do so with a larger group of people. So everybody's scrambling. Everybody's trying to make adjustments and changes. It doesn't affect me quite so much because I can roll with it and reschedule. And if I lose a wedding or two, it doesn't affect me too much financially because it's only part-time income for me anyway, and I really don't have to live on the income. So I can chill out about that and not be too uptight or too anxious. So it's working pretty well. And I just know that people are not really scheduling a lot of weddings right now because they're afraid and they don't know how long it's going to last. How long will this pandemic go on,
Yeah, it could be, a couple of months here. I was just watching the president's briefing, and they were saying that I think, what they say, 6 or 7 days that we are going to be reaching the peak of this. But they don't know, there's no telling. It could be 3 months. It could be 3 weeks. Who knows? So hopefully we get through this quickly and healthy, and that we move on from there. Something else I wanted to ask you about is you had told me a couple days ago that you were doing online networking. And I'm wondering if you would tell people a little bit about how that's going for you and what kind of feedback you're getting with that.
Really, it's going quite well so far. I've had some one-on-one encounters online and also through things like FaceTime and Facebook Live and so forth. And some other groups I'm doing by Zoom, some evening groups that I really like Network After Work and so forth. And then I have a Wednesday morning group called Central Cincinnati Referral Group, which has also gone to Zoom. And we had our first one last Wednesday, and that's working pretty well. I don't set up the meetings because I'm not an officer right now, but it's pretty easy for me to use. And we had about as many people join the Zoom meeting for CCRG as we do normally have people show up in person. So that's going quite well. And later in this month, probably I will do my first Network After Work happy hour by Zoom. I don't know how that's going to work. Virtual drinks, I'm not sure. But
everybody will be around with their margaritas and enjoying each other's company that way. So that sounds like a lot of fun. I might have to look at those.
Right. So we're trying to have some fun through all this, and I'm still posting quite a bit on Facebook on my personal page, and a lot of it's either inspirational stuff or humorous stuff because I'm not going to talk about the virus much or politics or anything like that. It's inspiration and humor. And then I've been using my church Facebook page quite a bit more too to promote my Sunday morning meditations and worship services, that kind of thing. So it's good for me in a way to stretch my brain and my talents to learn more of these things technologically. And I'm sure I'll put them to good use even after this pandemic thing is over with.
Do you know what TikTok is?
Well, I've heard of it, and I think one of my cousins uses it. That's about all I know.
Yeah, it's this app, and it's mostly for teenagers, and they put funny videos. One of the organizations that I do some work for, Sophie's Love for Animals Foundation, I created an account on there for them, and I'm still learning how to create videos using short snippets of videos of animals and different pets and stuff like that, and you add a soundtrack over it to make it sound like the pet is talking or stuff like that. So I'm still learning that app, and the nice part about it, like I said, it's mostly for teenagers, but a lot of businesses are starting to get more involved with it as well. And in the evenings, if it's been a stressful day, if I stopped and watched the governor's press conference and then the president's, and I'm a little stressed about stuff, I'll sit there and open up TikTok and just kind of go through funny videos, or on YouTube, just kind of flipping through them to de-stress a little bit. So these days, technology can bring us stress, but it can also bring us a lot of great comfort as far as reaching out and being able to network with our friends, communicate with our family and our friends, and still hopefully for most people being able to keep business going and trying to think of ways to reinvent their business. So
right,
I hope that someone calls you and wants you to do a Zoom wedding, because that would be really awesome.
Yeah, I'd like to be able to do that. As long as we can handle the paperwork and the signing of the license. We talked about that the other day.
Yeah.
And it would be a little tricky, but not impossible. Right.
Yeah, pre-planning, they can mail it to you. You can mail it back. It's all good. So let me know if that happens. Maybe you need to put that on Facebook that you're willing to do that for people.
Yeah, maybe I do. Yeah, thanks. Sure. Hey, one of the things that I don't know how much time we have, but one of the things that I'm going to do in the near future when the virus passes on is to work with a couple of my new networking friends. One of them is middle-aged like me. I hate to say I'm senior, but I guess I'm senior. And he's just a little bit younger than I am, but he's very techie and very good. He really wants to help me put some things together, some wedding videos at various nice locations around the city, like Drees Pavilion and the Wiedemann Hill Mansion and maybe Alt Park, places like that, to actually create some videos for YouTube. And there's a young lady that wants to help me too. She works for Channel 5, and she's also very good with this stuff. And she's willing to help too and not charge me at all. I mean, I don't know if we could make this an income producer or not, possibly, but put some humor into it as well as some seriousness, because marriage is such a serious thing. But we would choose various locations to film around the city, and both of them have been willing to help me with that and try to launch that project. So I'm kind of excited about what that might look like just down the road a little bit.
That's really awesome. And you can always reach out to me and ask for help as well on marketing stuff and online stuff or whatever. So anything I can do to help you, be sure to reach out as well.
Sure, thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great.
Just a little background. Jim and I met, I think we met on Facebook, didn't we?
I think so, actually.
I think you reached out to me and was like, hey, we were part of the same networking group, H7. So I'll throw Clayton a bone there, and I think you're met on because of H7, and I drove down to Cincinnati, and we had we met at Starbucks the first time, and I think they were out of coffee. Remember that?
I think so. How can Starbucks be out of coffee?
I have no idea. That's just like a fish place being out of fish,
I know. Go figure.
But we've had lunch and whatever a couple times after that and whatever. So like I said, if you're looking for a wedding officiant, Jim is super great. He's nice and very considerate. He's funny, and he would definitely make your wedding a very special event to remember. So if you're looking to get married and maybe do it virtually, you guys let me know, and maybe we'll maybe we'll host it on our channel and post it on there as far as people doing technology.
Yeah, that's very possible, and I haven't been asked yet, but maybe I could offer it since people think I'm too old to be able to do it. I could do it with help for sure. And hey, I got to say also, Marianne, that I just booked my first destination wedding for next March in Clearwater, Florida. So
Okay.
That's going to be exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
March would be good weather down there. It won't be too hot yet, hopefully.
that's right, and the virus will be gone because that's a year from now.
Well, by all means, I certainly hope it is, because if it's not, then we're all doomed.
Then we're all in big trouble, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So let's stay positive, and we'll just assume that it's going to be gone here in a couple of weeks, hopefully, if not a couple of months, and that we can all get on with life and do stuff. I know a lot of people are really struggling right now just to educate their children. We weren't,
Right.
That popped up overnight, and even grocery shopping and stuff like that. I have known that the grocery stores have been a little bit farther out as far as having to plan when your groceries are going to be delivered. It used to be before. I've always done grocery shopping online and had it delivered because it helped me stay focused as far as what I was spending my money on and not impulse buying. And
Right. Mm-hmm.
Suddenly now on grocery shopping and planning, okay, so in 5 days, I'm going to be out of milk, or I'm going to be out of bread, or I'm going to be out of this or that or whatever. And when I went online earlier to get that done today, one of the options for delivery did not even exist. They said we're further out than 5 days and wouldn't even allow me to schedule a week ahead. So that was on Kroger. And the only option I had was either to go shopping myself, which I don't really want to be in the stores right now. I'm trying to, obey the governor's rule and stay at home as much as possible. Or to go pick it up, they'll bring it out to my car. And the soonest I could do that was in 5 days.
Oh my goodness. That's tough. It's tough to plan. It's tough to even think about how to make things work, even if you don't have a big family. I can't imagine what these people are doing that have, 2 or 3 or 4 kids, trying to feed them and plan for food and activities and school or daycare or anything like that. Yeah.
Right. I think it's easier when you've got 4 or 5 kids in some ways, because the kids are, keeping themselves entertained and going on. But I think, one of the challenges would be my friend Beshka. I think maybe you've met her. She's down in Cincinnati area. She has 1 child. And so that child's looking to their parents to keep them entertained and for
Right.
schooling. And they don't have their siblings to do that. So I'm just glad my daughter's not school age anymore. She's in college, but she's not, in grade school. So thank God.
Yeah, my kids are long grown up, and now we have this 11-month-old granddaughter. She just turned 11 months old today, so that's
I saw a
exciting.
picture. She's adorable. I'm so grateful for technology that we get to see that stuff and share with each other.
Yeah, I know. Thank you for saying she's adorable. We think so too, but we're spoiled and prejudiced ourselves. So yeah,
Grandparents should be.
yeah, it's great.
All right, Jim. Well, let's wrap this up. Tell people how they can get in touch with you when they want to do this video wedding that we want to do.
Okay, I sure will. I'll give it my best
how do
shot.
people get in touch with you?
How do people get in touch with me?
Yeah.
Well, generally, let's see. Generally, on the Thumbtack site, they can reach me directly through Thumbtack. And some other people will, from Marriage Chaplain, that agency I mentioned, they will text me or call me about those. So that's a little old school, but it works.
Okay.
And then some of the ones I pick up just through direct referrals through my networking groups. Okay,
so is there a phone number they can call you if they want to get married?
Sure, there sure is. You want me to give it to you?
Absolutely.
Okay, Jim Clark, 513-325-1659. 325-1659.
Okay. And maybe, do you have an email they can email you and get more information as well?
Sure. It is lowercase letters. Since I'm a runner, it is runrjim.clark, CLARK, @gmail.com.
Okay, so I've got 513-325-1659.
Yes.
Right? And then runrjim.clark@gmail.com.
Correct.
All right, I'll put that in the notes of everywhere I post this video. So if people are trying to get in touch with you, they can do that. So, Jim, it was a pleasure having you on today, and I will, like I said, probably see you tomorrow morning on Facebook Live for your service, and check that out. And I hope you have a very wonderful evening. Stay safe, stay healthy, and order groceries in advance, far in advance.
Okay, Marianne, you stay safe too, and take care, and we'll be in touch soon.
I will. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.